Hi, welcome to another episode, long overdue, of Today Jovially I Learned. And it's going to be one about ZVZ early game stuff again. I know I did this like in Wings of Liberty a long time ago, but here's some points that people have forgotten about random things and such. Okay, just on the attacker side, when you want a YOLO Swag 420 as the Ling Bane all-in person, you're probably going to go attack before you morph. There's two ways to go about it. Either you go in with all your speedlings and then you go out and then morph your banelings while you're attacking to maybe catch your opponent's queens or defense out of position before their defense is set up, or you can just hide it all, even though it's ZBZ, so their overlord probably sees you going, and then you just morph all your banelings and then you go all at once. Well, lane bane fights aren't exclusive to just lane bane all-ins early game. They're also they happen in contesting third bases and such, like in Muta versus Muta fights, or pretty much just any third base contesting with lane bane. So one of the tricks that a lot of people don't do, and I don't do most of the time, but unless there's time to do things, is maybe you say you're gonna go attack, and then you're getting poked by spine crawlers and such, and then you have a bunch of lings, you're going poking in and poking out, and then you have these bunch of lings, and you're like, I need to morph some banelings. Well, most people would just, just hold down E and get some banelings on the way, right? But that's not exactly the best method. The best method would be actually, not the best method, I don't know, it's a better method, is that when you get single lings attacked and say they're not exactly fully healed. Oh god, I just killed a ling. Say you have like this control group, and when you're morphing banelings, you don't have to select each one to morph the weaker lings, because when you morph a weaker ling into a baneling, they have full health as a baneling again. But what you can do is you have all your lings in your control group, and then you look on your here bar and go, oh look, they're not green, so you get the not green ones. You notice how I have 3 as my units, and then you say, click another one, E, and you click 3, and then you click E again, and then there you go, you have all your units, and then you can control shift click that to exclude the banelings, and then get all your ling banes into your other hotkey group. Okay, so that's that a lot of people don't do, that I would like to see do more. On the defensive side, there's a lot of things to go through. Well, not that many actually, just a couple. Usually that's like a ramp, right? And then building placement. So everyone knows about the queen block where you have 2 queens and no lings can get through. Yeah, we'll just take a drone and try to get through here. Like, oh no, you can't go through. Okay, anyways. And then what this does is these 2 queens are providing a choke or a wall where no lings can bypass, and all you have is this surface area in which you can attack these queens. Just their front sides. But a lot of people, even though they have a queen wall off, they don't understand what kind of wall off sometimes queens can provide. There's different kinds of wall offs. There's the bottom of the ramp wall off, where this is still a wall off and something can't get through, but suddenly your choke, your surface area in which lings can attack your queens are actually a lot bigger. It's a semicircle as opposed to a straight line, because you are exposing yourself. Well, sometimes you want to do this, and that's because maybe say they're doing a big attack, and say your queens aren't exactly of real danger of dying, and maybe you have spine crawlers and hatcheries that are low health, and your opponent much rather target that. So if you have these queens here, then taking more of the lings onto the queens, more of the brunt of the lings onto the queens, it ensures that your other things have less pressure onto them, so alleviates some pressure. Also, when you're wanting to defend your natural hatchery, your queens aren't exactly always in range. You see the melee range is 5 only. So I think it's 6, but okay, I don't even remember. I thought it was 6. I think this unit order is different. Anyways, you can't always defend the entire natural hatchery, so you want your queens closer to the hatchery. You have to move them down towards the ramp, and that is a liability in itself, because before, as I said before, the surface area of the queens are increased. but then you can transfuse things that you couldn't have transfused before. So, and then there's the thing where you go to the top of the ramp, and there is a bigger surface area, okay? Like, here, a drone can't get through. This drone shouldn't be able to get through. You see, it can't get through, right? But instead, you do have the same line, and sometimes it might be a bigger choke, where it might be closer, but since your queens are a bit further apart, even though maintaining the wall, they do have a bigger surface area, because it's like a triangle, more like each queen's a circle, right? So there's here, and then there's here, which the lanes can attack. Well, why would you ever do this? It doesn't serve the purpose of defending your natural. It doesn't... If you want to just make a wall off, having a line of queens is a lot better than having that triangle shape. But you could also say your queens are attacking against a lane Bane bust, and then you have the Baneling here. So if they make a big triangle to create bigger surface area to attack your queens, also when that triangle of bigger surface area happens, you also have more surface area for your Baneling. So like, say your Baneling can't get... Okay, go back to go through. But say your Baneling can't go through. Okay, that's still not the triangle I wanted, but okay, let's say your Baneling... Okay, say your fucking Baneling can't go through, okay? Let's just say it can't go through, but there's still that triangle of space. But if you move this Baneling towards here, right-click the ramp, you'll see that the Baneling, if you make a perfect queen wall off, your Baneling will be in the middle, because that's the closest it can get to passing the queens. But you see that it has the most surface area damage impact upon this triangle thing. So if there are a bunch of lings, say like right here, and it went to attack the queen here, then this Baneling could kill a bunch of lings, right? So you can see how that normal Baneling hit would do a lot more damage against, say, a line. This isn't gonna work, but let's just say this, and then it blows up. So let's just say that, okay? So that's another trick. Now for the SimCity tricks, as you can see, there's a hex of space in between this hatchery and this Baneling nest. And you can obviously snuggle your queen here, but I don't quite like it. I like to use this sort of formation when people tempo a Bane and you can't wall off because your queens, you don't have a second queen. So when they tempo a Bane, the Banes come in, and you have to make sure your queen doesn't die, because as soon as your queen dies, there's nothing to manually target down the Banelings, because Banelings destroy spines pretty quickly if you do have a spine out. And yeah, and your queen is pretty much your only, your biggest reliable defense against that. But so you have Hex of Space there, but you have to remember, if it's like a mid-game Ling Flood into your base, they can attack you from both sides. So actually the surface area isn't that great for a building placement like this. Anyways, that's one point. And there's a spine crawler here. This walls off this part. But I want to, what I do want to show you is that if you have two spines beside each other, they don't actually wall off. As you can see, a drone can get through here. But if you have a spine and like an Evo chamber and like a spine, like two dicks and what? Okay, let's not go into that. It can't actually go through. So spines beside each other don't make an impenetrable wall, but spines with buildings is like, if you imagine the spines as a mortar towards creating a building, then it won't actually. It will actually wall off. So another thing to notice. That's another thing. That's another thing to notice is making a wall on a ramp. This I haven't talked about since like Wings of Liberty. I didn't talk about it in videos, but I never used this tactic for a long time because Wings of Liberty maps are usually concerned with this. But say you want to wall this off. You want to wall this off. Okay, you're gonna have build Evo chamber. Look. If you put an Evo chamber here, it's going to very obviously wall off the ramp and this Evo chamber. So units will have to go around. As you can see, there's no space for a unit to go through. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, you can actually make an Evo chamber one hex to the right. And it's going to actually be a wall off. Even though there's a space here, it's going to be a wall off. I think so. Let me see. Yes, it's actually a wall off. Even though there's a giant fucking space here, it's gonna be a wall off. So what does that mean? You do that Baneling stuff again. Where you do like, oh look, hey look, you would think a link can go through, but it can't. It can't go through. Look, if you go from this side of the wall off, and you try to right click here, you can't go through, but very, perceivably, it looks like there's a hole here. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a Baneling here and there's a Link Flood here, and they're attacking your rope chamber, this is going to have a big area of effect splash damage. Same with the other side. So, if Lings come up your ramp here, and you just blow it out. So that's another thing. And then subsequently, you could also make a wall off, a shitty wall off with a spine crawler right here. And I'm pretty sure our drone can't get through. I lied. It can totally get through. It can totally get through. So yeah, that's enough of that. So next thing. No, I think that was it actually. We'll go into the second part of this video where oops, how do you cancel this? How do you cancel it back? Alright. So we'll get to the next part is microing units of Zerg units. Is I want to go to an open area arena. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to show you how to split units if you don't know how to already, but you probably do know. So we're going to have a bunch of units like roaches and hydras, like in ZVP and stuff. I'm going to show you how to make a Phalanx. So pretty much a Phalanx is making your units in a line as impenetrable as possible. So we're going to start here. So first of all, splitting units. How do you split units? Well, you have this ball of units, right? You have a big ball of units. How do you make the best concave possible? Well, when you aim move into... Oh, I should actually reset this. Go back. When you have a big Roach Hydra combo force, and you just start here, and you attack this into this and this into this, it will make a concave of like a World War I style trench warfare concave, where it's like two lines, right? But you can obviously make it better, so it's one side is advantage towards the other. So we'll have mirror, and if you have a concave, so a little split you do is you just do this. You have a big ball of units, and then you slice, as Day9 has said, you slice units. So you can slice vertically. Do this, and you click S to stop, and then you slice, another slice here, and then you click there, and then you stop, okay? And then that in itself will probably let the red side win. Well, it should, because there are roaches in the back that aren't attacking, and you see all the units are attacking. The roaches in the front and the hydras are in the back, and technically the red side should win. Okay, so let's go back. But the better way is that you could do you just do regular slicing, but you could also slice horizontally and stuff like that. But the other way is that you can actually slice, but not only do you slice like thus, you slice here and then you slice here. Make sure all the units are in a better line, but you can actually pull your hydras back. You control click your hydras like this. And what you do is hotkey the hydras onto 2 right here, and you hotkey the roaches onto 3. So I have 11 hydras and 11 roaches. So what you do is you right click these hydras backwards, and then you click S. You have to click clicking S. S will tell your units to stop, but if they're attacking, right after that stop command is issued and performed, they will resume their normal activities. And then you have your roaches in the front. So once you pull your hydras in the back, but you have to make sure that if you right click a certain direction, they're all going to bunch up here, so you have to make sure you stop pretty early. So if you slice here and you stop, and then the lines are perfectly maintained. So this is the Phalanx position, where you have your roaches, the tanky units in the front, and the hydras and vulnerable units in the back. So if we attack each other, we'll see that the red side should win a lot better, because some units and some roaches were derping, whereas all the units for red have been attacking in a better fashion the entire thing. So you see that the resources, the ending is a lot better. Before this was 700. So say that you're doing a big attack, right? Say you do the Phalanx and whatever, or you don't have time to do the Phalanx and you just do splitting. So if you hotkey all your hydras and your roaches, and then you attack each other, and they say, oh crap, and then you can pull them back and do this. But you have to remember that if you pull them back, they're not going to be attacking. So you have to make sure they attack as soon as possible. And sometimes it's a liability as well. I think that the blue side's actually going to win this time. So you have to remember to not do the pulling back thing unless it's absolutely critical. As you can see, that was actually also detrimental to that part. But I'm just saying, if you're doing a big roach hydra fight and your hydras are going to die, but you have rallying roaches on the way, then you pull back your hydras and your opponent is attacking nothing, whereas you're getting your hydras back into a phalanx position. It's a lot better. So that's pretty much just the slicing technique. But you have to keep remembering to click S. Never click H for hold position, because your units won't actually attack. So look, if I do a phalanx again, but a shitty one, the slicing, just the slicing, and you do H, and then you click attack, and then you, oh look, I gotta pull them into slice, and then you click H. You see these units don't actually attack, so you have to click S. If you click S, your units will then, oh wait, oh shit, my units are getting attacked, so then they'll go and attack again. So that's pretty much the idea and gist of the phalanx. With different unit compositions, you have a different phalanx. With some broodlords, you would obviously have, these are sieging units, so you would have them in the back. If you have some queens as well, you would always have those in the front, because they are tanky units and they have full energy. So they have energy, so they're healing each other. They're doing the least DPS out of every other Zerg unit on the battlefield, but they are tanky, and the transfuse, healing 125 to each biological unit. You see, hydras don't even have that much, and roaches 145. So if it's not 20 health, you're going to be wasting some transfuse energy, whereas queens have the highest energy or health pool, so transfuse are a lot easier to hit and to maintain as least energy waste as possible. And if you have some infestors as well, you also want those in the back. So if you have this stuff here, so you want your phalanx, like your broodlords in the back, and your hydras and your roaches in the front. Your roaches further than your hydras. So you start clicking S, and then you spread them out like this, and then you click S on here. But with your broodlords, you don't want to click S. You actually want to A move and then back, A move and then back. So you have to micro them. Or what other people like to do is H, and then right click H, and then right click. Because H hold positions, it doesn't issue an attack command, but it hold positions. But so it's stationary, but a unit will attack a unit if it comes to close proximity. So if you know that you're in range and you just click H instead of going A click back, because you see your broodlord actually moves forward. So if you click H and a unit is in range, it will attack, and then you can just right click H, right click H, right click. So you'll see that your broodlords doesn't do this thing. So in this phalanx, you would have your hydras, your infestors in the back, your queens in the front, your hydras. Whoa, shit! Your hydras in the third tier of units, and your queens would be in the front. Your roaches are the second tier, and your hydras are the third tier, as I said before. So then you would start slicing like this, and just click S, and you click S. And then you have your hydras here, and then you have here, this here, and this here. So the whole reason why you have these tiers of units in this sort of position is because you see your queens have 5 range or 6 or whatever. But these have less range, but these do a lot more DPS than your queens, especially with when you scale them with upgrades. You see the weapon speed is 1, this is 2, but this only does 2 attacks of 4 damage. So if you're attacking a roach and they have armor, then your attacks are going to get a lot shittier. And then your hydras have 6 range compared to your 4 range roaches, but your infestors are in the back because their fungal growth is... Oh, this is Wings of Liberty, lol. So that's probably why. Their fungal growth has 10 range, which is like somewhere here or something. So that's actually the highest range out of everything.
Not enough energy.
So that's that. And yeah. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and that's the episode of Today Jovial I Learned. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and comments or whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye.